Hey, folks. I'm David Shore. I'm the host of the podcast Corruption of Child Protection Services. What's been going on past few weeks and months? Immigration raids. Now they're turning into war zones. Minneapolis, to be specific. Another person got shot and killed by an ICE agent. All the information is not forthcoming yet, which begs the question, why all these people dying? Why are more and more people being shot by ICE agents? What are the protesters doing? Are they just protesting? Are they getting inside in the face of ICE agents because they don't want them to deport people? And like you, I may be hearing like the story, but we don't get the full story. You know how it is, how the media is. They'll give you one side, but not the other, and vice versa. And I'll tell you right now, it's really getting to the point that here we are. I don't know what's going on now. President Trump's idea was to round up the illegals and send them back to their country of origin. There are protesters who are trying to stop that. At the beginning, Governor Walz was telling people to get in their faces, do whatever you have to do to stop ICE. And it just escalated when the allegations of fraud in Minnesota. I don't know if it's just Minneapolis, but Minnesota. And we now are at a point. There are some people coming out, or at least what I've seen so far, that people are talking civil war. People are talking to take up arms and go after like ICE agents. Others go after the protesters. Folks, I fight child protection services. There is corruption there. If you know anything about Nancy Schaefer and how child protection services is protected, and getting on that subject, if there's fraud there, how come Child Protection Services isn't speaking out about that? How come you don't hear from the Minneapolis or the Minnesota Department of Child Service or Child Protection Services in Minnesota? How come you're not hearing from them? Kind of makes you stop and wonder. But what I've been seeing, been hearing, I go on YouTube so I can watch videos, about cats, about dogs. I'm a truck driver, so Bonehead Truckers, I watch that. Just as a diversion, just to get away from what's going on in the real world. You know something? It's like for some reason people want you to see what the real world is going, what it's doing. I've been saying that maybe the people who say they want war, it's the young people saying these things. A lot of times people my age in their 50s and 60s. But you always wonder, the people who are saying it, do they play Call of Duty? Is that their experience on war? I'd like to bring a little information to you. And I'm only saying this from what I've heard other people say war is like. I was in basic training, and they told us to look to our left, and look to our right. And they asked us, actually, they told us in war, the person to your left or the person to your right in war may not make it home. War is not this glorified thing. You may think, well, we're going to get rid of ICE. We're going to go to war against them. Are you willing to sacrifice your own life? Are you willing to sacrifice family members' lives? Friends? Are you willing to sacrifice everything? And I'm not just talking to protesters. Oh, no, I'm talking ICE. I'm talking anyone that decides to raise a weapon, raise a gun, and shoot it at a person. Now, like I said, there's more information needs to be said. What really happened this last time and the times before? We're not getting all the information. Then again, it's just feeding the flames. It's feeding the fire. And here's something that's already been said time and time again. What if President Trump, invokes the Insurrection Act of 1807? And for that matter, what if more violent protests, not just in Minnesota, but around the country, in every state, that ICE is doing these raids, and even ones that they're not doing raids? What are we going to do? Then President Trump invokes the Insurrection Act nationwide, and I don't know the procedure, but what if he also invokes martial law? The only ones that would make the laws then is the military and who's ever in charge in the government. At least that's what I read about. Our founding fathers, when they fought the British, they fought because they wanted the freedom to be able to say whatever they wanted without fear of repercussions, be able to worship any way they wanted. And if they wanted to protest or speak out against the government, they had every right. What would our founding fathers now say? If they saw what's going on today, would they side with the protesters? Would they side with the government? Would they just say, we're staying out of it? Growing up, our biggest fear was Russia. We even had a movie, Red Dawn. People want us to get out of the United Nations. Why? So Red Dawn can become a reality? I think you know the story. Russia and Cuba, and it looks like this, what is Russia and Cuba got together and they invaded the United States. And they attacked from the south and kept moving. World War III. We heard about AI and how it's going to take over the world. People are yelling about that. there is something, I don't know, and you should check this out because I did. The state of California, they're running into a big deficit, trillions of dollars. Truck drivers, last I heard, and if you're a truck driver, could you please leave a message in the comments if truck drivers are not going into the state of California because of new regulations? If you're working on the docks, how's that working? Is it backed up, as I've heard? Anyone working in the oil industry, if you worked at one of the two refineries in California that rumor has it they've shut down. If you worked at a McDonald's or a Burger King, if you were a delivery driver for Pizza Hut, Costco, Walmart, places like that, you constantly hearing of these things. Why do I bring this up? Because President Trump said that he would lower prices, and prices are coming down. It took a year, but the prices are coming down. So, who would benefit from the violence? Who would benefit from people being killed? Would it be Trump? Would it be who's ever paying the protesters? You know, if it was me, they couldn't pay me enough money to get in front of somebody who has an automatic weapon, who is edgy to begin with. I wouldn't even challenge him. I know there's people that are, I know you're probably thinking you're doing the right thing. Both sides. If you don't turn down the heat, do you really want President Trump to use what presidential powers he does have? Invoke the Insurrection Act? And if he can, declare martial law? Governor Walz, you and your administration and the Attorney General and the mayor of Minneapolis, tell your people, calm down. And President Trump, who's ever in charge of ICE, tell them, back down. Control this. If they can't control this, doing this does not help. Shooting a person simply because they're on edge. I was told growing up that as soon as you pull a gun, a weapon, and you use it, you've already lost. My fear is it's going to escalate where one side or the other or both are going to start opening fire on one another. Then what do we do? By then, it's too late. President Trump will announce, he may not even do the announcement, he may just invoke the Insurrection Act, notify the military, including the Minnesota National Guard, and that's it. He'll do whatever it takes to get law and order back. I'm probably not the first person to be saying this, But I am going to say this for those that want to incite a civil war, for those who wear the bulletproof vests, who have the tattoos and everything, and it says, yeah, we got to do this, we got to do that, and then asking for money. I've seen one person actually do that, asking for money, his war fund or something. You know, I know this whole thing started over immigration, but are we going to have blood flowing in the streets on both sides? And we should ask ourselves one question: who benefits if ICE kills another person or if an ICE agent gets killed? Who's going to benefit if there's an all out civil war on the streets of not just Minneapolis, but around the country? Who will benefit? And for this, and I'm going to say this right to both, this goes for President Trump, J.D. Vance, Tim Walz, as well as the Attorney General of Minnesota and the Mayor of Minneapolis. Stop hiding. Don't hide. Don't do this. Oh, well, I'm going to do this press conference, but I'm going to do it in a secure area where nobody can get to me. If you can't do it face to face, and I know I'm talking from where I'm at right now, but think about it. Our leaders, where are they? They're in a secured area. They don't have to deal with the outcome or the aftermath. But they'll blame the other. You know, there's a Mexican store. I like stopping in it from time to time. I'm a diabetic, so I look for alternatives to snacks. They have energy drinks that have no sugar in it. Tastes pretty good. And they have cakes and stuff with low sugar. And they're the friendliest people I've ever met. Those and black people. They're a very friendly group. Are there bad people? Sure. Doesn't have to be black, doesn't have to be Hispanic, can be white. But I want you to understand these shootings have to stop. ICE and also people getting in front of an ICE agent and yelling at them or thinking you're going to charge them or follow them. Now, I don't know if they have the orders to defend, if they defend themselves, if you're going to get run over by a car, shoot the tires, shoot the block of the engine, disable the vehicle. Better the vehicle than the person. That's just one suggestion.